Hello, human peoples. You're listening to the podcast network of Gamefully Unemployed. To support us and gain access to great exclusive podcasts like Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Star Trek The Next Futurama, and our latest show, Spiel Boys, head over to patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. We do game streaming, movie nights with our patrons every Friday night, and you can even commission your own podcast about anything you want. Literally anything, within reason, and we have to do it. You are quite frankly out of excuses not to go visit patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. That's patreon.com/GAMEFULLY unemployed, which is spelled like it sounds.
What's happening? Oh,
we just watched. You absolute Christmas goon.
Oh my God, it's Christmas. Hi, everybody.
Christmas goblin.
Hi.
Hello, everyone.
My name is David Bell.
My name is Tom Reimann.
My name is Marina Reimann.
Oh, nailed it. Immediately.
You killed it. Came swooping in like a snowman.
I was waiting for it.
Mm-hmm.
And we just watched The Snowman.
Snowman!
Not the Harry Hole one.
I gave you all the clues, Mr. Police.
Sleeping as we fly.
There were several moments in this cartoon where he could have revealed himself to be a serial murderer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or a
Absolutely.
chaos demon, like an ancient woodland spirit.
Yeah. Okay, we have some business to take care of. First of all, Marina, welcome.
Thank you.
Always nice.
Marina
Nice talking to you.
Reimann.
Okay. Settle down. Second, hey, Sarah. Kyle wants to thank you for this and the past 11 Christmases together. He hopes this is another lovely memory with the most special Christmas movie. Sarah, I assume, I'm improvising here, but I assume Kyle loves you, and Merry Christmas. This is a gift from...
I mean, I hope he
you.
does. Otherwise, I don't know why he paid for this.
Yeah. That's true. So this is for you, Sarah.
Yeah.
This is a 1982 short film.
Yeah, produced for the BBC.
Yeah. I want to start with, did you guys see this movie growing up?
No.
I did.
Okay. Yeah, I did too. So this is kind of for me too, I realized watching this. I called my parents after watching it, and I was like, we've watched this, right? And my dad was like, I still remember the song. So I think I watched this a lot as a kid.
Aw. Did it bum
Too
you
much.
out as much as it bummed me out?
It did not. All right, so for people who don't know, this is 1982 short about a little boy who makes a snowman. It's beautifully animated. I always found the movie like... It doesn't bum me out because of the nostalgia. Like when the snowman becomes... When it lights up, those specific lights like triggered nostalgia in me, and I was like, "Oh shit!" Like I remember this.
Aw.
So it's warm feelings for it. It's sad because the snowman melts. I assume that's where you're sad that the snowman melted. Spoilers.
Yeah, the snowman melts, and then it's very abrupt. The snowman melts and it ends, and this move seems to be the intent.
The lesson that we're getting about life is that, it's really magical and then you die.
Yeah,
There's nothing.
Exactly.
It's fleeting and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's the thing is that message itself doesn't bum me out because I do think that there's, sure, but it's beautiful while you're there.
While it lasts, yeah.
Yeah. I often go to alleyways and I film plastic bags twirling around all the time.
I've seen you do this, yeah.
Yeah. This movie growing up always kind of had like an eerie nostalgia, and watching it again, I now know why. Because I always remembered this as something that frightened me as a kid, but I watched it a bunch. And so clearly it didn't, It's the beginning when he's like looking out the window and the snowman's got his back turned and he hasn't turned yet, and it's like kind of like a horror movie.
Yeah.
It is. I was thinking the same exact thing. I was just waiting for his head to slowly turn all the way back.
Yep. Let's reveal his icicle fangs. Like the 1996 film Jack Frost. He's icing and slicing. I'm sorry, that's Jack Frost too. Jack Frost is he's chilling and killing.
Right. Or the Michael Keaton Jack
Or the Michael
Frost,
Keaton Jack Frost, where he's
terrifying.
tooting on a harmonica and then transforms into a snowman that looks like George Clooney.
Yeah. It's horrifying. So Marina, so that was mainly what bummed you out? Just that ending? Because it's how it always goes, right? Is the snowman melts.
Yeah, but doesn't he usually, like, you're like, oh, well, life goes on. You can always, make him again. He'll be back next year. Like, and there wasn't any of that. And also, the snowman kept frowning at weird points, and I wasn't sure why. Like, he'd see something awesome, and then he would frown, like...
Well, he kept melting. I know that. The kid kept trying to melt him.
Yeah.
The kid was like, let me show you all this electricity. And then he was like, let me show you all this hot water. And it was like, damn, kid. Like, he's a snowman.
Yeah.
Take a hint. So, like, yeah, the plot is that the kid goes out. Like, I don't know if it's the first snow, but it seems like he's very excited for snow. So excited that he freeballs it. Did you notice that?
Oh, yeah. He slides hanging sack right in his denim.
Yeah. And
no
he
gloves.
goes out.
No gloves building
Nope.
that snowman.
No.
I could never do that.
I remember being
It
a
was
kid
always
and, like,
just
not being
way
I
cold.
couldn't do it for like longer than 2 or 3 minutes before I had to shove gloves on my fists.
That's fair.
On my tiny little meat fists.
Yeah.
I'm not
But
a
it's
snowman, Dave.
That's true.
Can
It's that wonderful-
confirm.
Yeah. It's that wonderful time where you're a kid. Like, the parents are like, yeah, go out. You don't have to shovel. You don't have to do anything. Snow is beautiful for you, kid.
They're in the punishing post-war British countryside too. So there's nobody around for miles, and like, yeah, whatever, kid, go out there. We're gonna stay in here and drink. That's the only.
Yeah.
That's the reason I assume that they don't get up when the snowman is crashing through their bedroom.
Yeah. Just
They're
laudanum.
like, take me now.
Yeah, yeah.
Laudanum.
They've taken a bunch of laudanum and just drank an entire bottle of gin each. Because it's 1950 in Britain and it sucks.
Yeah, there's no sources of joy here. This poor kid.
Well,
The kid's having fun.
the kid's having a great time.
The kid's having a great time. Yeah. It also, did you guys watch it where it began with the live action?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's like an old man saying like, I remember.
That's the author of the children's book. That's Reimann Briggs introducing it. They apparently... Go ahead.
Walking into the forest to die, I assume.
Yeah, walking in the forest to look for any trace of the snowman orgy that he stumbled onto.
Yes.
There's
I wanna
apparently...
talk about that.
Oh, we will. There's apparently... They redid it like for a 20th anniversary in, I guess that would have been 2000, but where David Bowie does the introduction.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah. But we didn't see that version. We saw it with the guy who wrote the book, and he specifically wrote it as like a sort of melancholic memory from childhood. And it is, his intent is specifically what Dave was saying, is that life is fleeting, but it is beautiful while it's here.
Yeah, it is definitely like a bittersweet.
Yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
And I think that song is like kind of haunting.
Yeah,
The
I knew
song's
the
so
song.
haunting.
I knew the song ahead of time.
That's
But
interesting. Yeah, it was. Where did you hear it? Because it was written for this cartoon.
okay, I'm about to tip my hand as far as my nerdiness, although you guys probably already know about that. But
We're aware.
I used to watch the Celtic Woman specials. I don't know if any of you guys ever heard of those.
Is this Celtic music?
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's church music, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. It was a Christmas special with just, it was sung by Chloe Agnew. Celtic Woman is just this really neat concert performed by a bunch of Celtic women. And that was one of the songs I did.
I love that music.
Oh, yeah, me too.
Yeah. That music, even if it's weird, that music spawns nostalgia in me, and I don't have a nostalgia for it, if that makes sense. Like, it gives me the same feelings of nostalgia, without my childhood having a lot of Celtic music. I don't think. Maybe, I don't know.
Mine was full to the brim of
Yeah.
Celtic music.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe, like, when I was a baby, they were blasting that at me, but as far as I know...
Just shattering your eardrums with it.
it is like a Celtic song, isn't it? It's basically them. The song is just narrating what the kid's doing,
more or less.
It's just
yeah.
It's just they keep how many times they just keep rephrasing. He's flying through the air.
Yeah,
but it is
he's flying through the air and it fucking rules. And people on the ground can't believe it and they're losing their minds. And holy shit, there's a whale.
Yes,
like that's basically the words of the song.
Yes,
it's great.
I feel like they just wrote this book to the song.
Yeah. I forgot there were whales in this. I did not see the whales coming.
Yeah.
Because nothing in this movie indicates whales.
Yeah, he went all the way to the Bering Sea, and the kid got wet. So the kid's gonna, he doesn't know it yet, but he's got pneumonia, and he's gonna die. So he'll see the snowman again soon.
Yeah, the parents are gonna wake up and be like, "Why are all our clothing wet and dirty too?"
Yeah.
So what happens is the kid makes a snowman, right? Mm-hmm. And it's like any other snowman story, I would say. The snowman comes alive. The kid goes out, hangs out with him. Mm-hmm. The snowman's like, "I want to come inside," or the kid brings the snowman inside.
The snowman is just a chaotic goon in the house.
Yeah, he's just some dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's just like the kind of dude you'd run into at like Comic-Con. Like he's got a hat and a scarf.
It's very big. This kid brought a stranger home energy because he's just like showing him shit. Like, here's the TV, here's the faucet, here's my parents asleep.
Here's my weirdly tiny fridge.
Yeah,
It's Britain in the 50s. It's everything sucks.
Right.
I don't know. I
don't
know if that's true or not. I apologize.
The kid catches the snowman hunched over his parents. I was like, oh no,
he's gonna steal their breath.
Or just like his mouth, his jaw suddenly unhinges and he starts just swallowing their souls.
I was waiting. What I was hoping is that the snowman would just rob him.
Hits him with a blackjack and runs off.
But instead he puts in the parents' dentures, which that was horrifying.
Yeah, how old are they? Why do they have dentures?
It's post-war Britain. We're all doing our best.
He puts on the parents' clothing. The parents should be pissed. And then he steals the father's or the mother's, I guess, bike, like the motorcycle.
Yeah, the motorcycle.
He legally kidnaps the child.
Yes.
And yes, it's all well and good. It's festive. They take the bike out for a spin, and he just goes tearing through the woods like a maniac,
trying to hit as many animals as possible. I feel like.
Yeah.
It's a game. Yeah. It's a game. It's the Christmas game.
It's the Christmas game.
Yeah.
And then he flies with the child, and that's when we have the song. And all the other kids are watching because they're fucking losers. Those kids. They don't get to fly. With the snowman. They don't get to fly
because they're pieces of trash.
Yeah. I do like the idea of what if Santa every year he's like, okay guys, I got a great idea. Every year we grab just one kid and we freak him out. we bring him here, we have fun with him, no one's going to believe him.
Right, because he's the only kid there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no one else brought a child.
Yeah, at some point it's like, kid, you need to start asking some questions.
Yeah.
Like,
am I here to be sacrificed for the Yule?
Right.
Yeah, we're going to eat you, yeah. The fucking the snowman orgy.
Yeah, they fly the kid around the world, or the snowman does, and then all the other snowmen start waking up and watching, and that's a little and then they all meet at, I assume, the North Pole, and Santa's there.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed he keeps the gifts just in his barn, which I thought was very unceremonious.
In a stone windowless barn.
Yeah. And he invites the kid in, like, here, come into my windowless shed.
Yeah. I do like the idea that Santa would just have this barn full of toys that he just throws together, where he's like, I gotta get some more trash to give to the kids every year.
Because there's only toys for 6 kids in that barn. Like, I don't know what kind of game Santa's pulling.
He's like, here, have a fucking scarf.
Yeah, here's a scarf with snowmen on it. You like snowmen, right? I noticed you were hanging out with snowmen. The kid's like, well, one of them brought me here. Yeah. What if one of the snowmen, in the middle of the snowman orgy, when the titular snowman shows up with the little boy, starts freaking out, like, you brought a kid? Why'd you bring a kid?
Yeah, we're all trying to have an orgy here. This is no place for a child.
Fucking Ted brought a kid. Yeah.
What if, guys, I was thinking, what if he didn't actually bring our child home? What if this was a changeling and they actually ate the child and replaced him with a snowman in child skin?
And be a Christmas miracle,
what if that's the snowman? The snowman lives, the child is what melted.
Yeah.
Yes.
Happy ending suddenly.
He
And that's
swaps
why he
consciousness.
stands there with the scarf at the end. He's like, here, I know you liked this scarf.
Right, the snowman. Okay, so the snowman did good, and Santa's like, if you do good as a snowman, you get to like body swap with a child, and then you get to live the child's life.
Yeah.
And then you get the sweet release of death as well when you grow older. Like, I assume these snowmen have been living a while. Like, I'm not bummed about, like, I get the snowman melts and it is supposed to show the fleetingness of life, but it's a snowman. Like, he's not dead. He just became part of the, I guess that's also part of it. I think that's why snowmen are a good analogy, right? Because he doesn't die, he just becomes part of the ground.
Yeah.
And I guess that's technically what happens to us too. But in this magical world, I imagine he's sliding around in the snow somewhere.
Yeah, he's
right?
Splish splashing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I don't think he's. I know it's the symbolism is snowman melts and therefore dies, but in the logistics of this world, I feel like the snowman just left. Like it wasn't even that hot out when the kid woke up.
Mm-hmm.
So the snowman could have just
why
bounced.
did he? Yeah, seriously. He might have just been like, all right, that was cool. I got stuff to do. I mean, you're a kid. How much fun can I have with you, right? Got to get to that orgy.
Know. Because here's the other thing: is the snowman was fascinated. Like the kids showed him like working lights, and the snowman had never seen those before. Showed him TV, showed him the toys. Like, so the snowman clearly like seemed new.
It's from another time, maybe.
I don't know. You said this was old post-war, but now that I think about it, the TV and stuff feels kind of modern.
Yeah, it was like the 60s.
I mean, they had TVs in the 50s, but like I figured it was that because the book was published in the early 80s, or 78 was when the book was published. 82 was when the show came out.
Yeah.
So if it was published in the 70s and it's the author's memory of his childhood, it would put it at about the 50s.
Right.
That's all I'm basing.
Gotcha.
That's all I'm basing that on.
Yeah. And it might as well be. I think it's supposed to be timeless, but it definitely it feels like they updated it a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. There's nothing super modern in it though. Nothing past like the 60s.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just TV. Tiny fridge.
I feel like if I didn't have my parents to explain all of this stuff, this life and death stuff to me, I would have been really, really freaked out and sad. And my parents definitely would not have explained that to me. It would have just been like, all right.
Really?
Merry Christmas, kid.
I personally feel like it's the opposite because this movie to me, there's so many levels now because I grew up with it. And so there's that nostalgia, and then it's about nostalgia and about how life is fleeting, right?
Yes.
And I feel like you kind of have to be older to really realize that. Mm-hmm. Like, if you're a kid, you're just like, oh, that's sad. The snowman went away.
Yeah.
Because kids are dumb, you know? And so they don't understand the complexities of death.
They're tragic little idiots. They don't know how to be sad correctly yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that is the core of this film is like thinking about a simpler time when you were a kid, when the snow and Christmas was like magic.
Right.
You know?
And there was like everything seemed possible and it seemed like there was no limit to anything and that it would always be this way.
Right. And I guess it is a bummer ending. I guess it's weird. I don't think of it too much as a bummer.
It's melancholy. It's not, I don't know. I get both what you and Marina are saying about it. Like, I feel both of those things.
Right.
I guess a lot of it has to do with what your childhood was actually like around Christmas.
That's true.
For me, Christmas was not a fun time for the most part. And I think that might be why, for me, it's not very uplifting at all. Like,
really?
I don't know.
Did you like snow? Were you guys?
Oh, yeah.
Were you around a lot of snow?
Yeah. Well, I grew up in Virginia, rural Virginia, so the snow was always very wet. And there was all mostly like thin ice and stuff. And my dad liked to, like, Christmas was fun with my dad as far as going outside because he really loved to fuck with us and just get us as cold as possible.
Oh, yeah.
So he would slide us on trash can lids directly into thin ice puddles and stuff like that. He was a real practical joker.
My dad once put me in a tube and rolled me down the hill that I lived on into pricker bushes. And I just remember crawling out of the tube and looking up the hill to see my dad just buckling over in laughter. So, yeah. Like, when you have a kid, it's like it's a little person that'll trust you. And so you can mess with them.
Yeah, you can shove that kid in a cannon. They won't say anything.
Yeah,
exactly.
That reminds me of a trip we took to Norway. And we were climbing around on a glacier, which was a bad idea in hindsight, but I fell off. I was just sliding down the glacier and I couldn't stop. And my dad happened to be recording it. He just stood there laughing and recording it. And you can hear my grandma in the background saying, "Why is she doing that?" But I landed right in the water. Just
listen, it's
instant
important.
numbness.
Your dad had the right instinct. It's important to capture the memory.
Yeah.
Right.
Rather than make sure you're safe.
Christmas in general I think holidays are tough in general because they're just a time of the year, and they have to happen at a specific time. And that's not always, you're not always having a good time. Like, I remember I got stomach flu on Christmas, and I spent the entirety of Christmas Eve staying up, throwing up every 10 minutes and watching The Critic because that's what Comedy Central was playing. And like it's a very vivid memory, but it's that idea of like, you know, if you expect Christmas to be something specific, it can't really, because again it's just it's a hard day.
It
right?
never lives up to what the songs and everything promise for me. But then part of that's because my parents got divorced and they really hated each other. So holidays were an extremely stressful time.
Yeah. They are. I think they're generally stressful for family stuff, right? Mm-hmm. But I guess my question to you, did you like the holiday times, or was it Christmas itself that was a problem?
You know what? I liked the run up. We had an advent calendar, and that made it. That part was fun, but there was also the dread, though. But yeah, I've actually only recently got good at holidays. Now I love it. But
well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always liked the run up more than the day personally, and it's because there's a lot of pressure for the day itself, and then you get older, and the holidays seems just demystified. Mm-hmm. And that's what I like about this short, putting the parents in, because this doesn't take place on Christmas, right? This is like, I don't know, Santa's still like gearing up.
Yeah,
in this
it seems
plot.
To be close to Christmas, but yeah, it doesn't appear to be Christmas Day, no, because the parents just wake up like it's any other day. Like, what the fuck? What are you doing, kid?
Yeah, that's when I had the heaviest nostalgia, which is like going out to get a tree, or like just having the Christmas lights up.
Oh yeah.
And being in like kind of a snowy house and looking outside and stuff like that.
Yeah. It was nice to see everything so quiet and still whenever it did snow. Oh,
yeah. It's also, I think that's part of what this movie captures, which is, I don't know, is Christmas inherently melancholy? Because I always think of the reason you look at the holidays and you look at Thanksgiving, it's end of harvest, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like good time for everybody to eat. Halloween, it's the cold is coming. It's a good time to face your demons. Christmas, it's okay, we're freezing to death. Let's put up color like bright colored lights and celebrate togetherness. Like they all work really well with the seasons, right?
Yeah.
And like I think winter is inherently, it's the hardest time for our survival.
Yeah.
Well, there's also
and that's why we do it. So I always think of it as it's always melancholy because it's cutting through that is the point.
Well, I think it's more to do, for me anyway,
sure.
Particularly this year, it's more to do with the fact that it's the holiday for, if you celebrate, it's the holiday where the whole family gets together and you see the whole, it's a holiday about getting together with your family and people you don't see that often, or spending time with people that you don't get to see that often. So I think the melancholy aspect comes from its connection to nostalgia, where you're thinking back, oh, I remember the Christmases I used to spend with my grandparents, and you know that we can't do that anymore. They've been dead for many years, and I'm an adult now, etc. So it's like you start to notice the absence of things around Christmas.
Yeah,
everything sort of changes as you get older.
Yeah,
and it doesn't have to be Christmas. This is a Christmas movie.
Right, it's a Christmas movie. We're talking about Christmas specifically, you celebrate, but like any holiday or gathering that's like semi-ritualistic, meaning that it's like the same every year. We repeat the same things, like every Christmas, for example. Since we're talking about Christmas, you put up the tree, you get together, you exchange gifts, etc., etc. So
you fly with the snowman.
You fly with the snowman. Yeah, you drag your dick through the fjords of Norway, and a whale shoots its icy cum at you. But it's like designed for you to note. It's not designed with this in mind, but just the fact that it is so ritualistic and repeat a lot of the same, not ritualistic, I guess traditional would be the thing you'd want to say, but we repeat the same traditions, so you notice that people aren't there anymore because, I remember my dad used to do this thing and he's not here anymore, so now I'm noticing that he's not here to do this thing, like he normally put the tree up, and like things like that.
Right.
So I think it's just like it's ingrained in the holiday, this sort of melancholia.
But it passes on too, because new people do those things.
Yeah, exactly.
You know? Yeah. Especially if there's children involved, watching my niece and nephew get their Christmases and realizing like, oh, this is their nostalgia. That they're gonna grow up and they're gonna think back at this times and wanting that to be special for them. You know, it's sort of like the older I get, Christmas itself doesn't feel special to me, but it like I understand the purpose of making it special to others.
Yeah.
If
and
that makes
I guess that's
sense.
more about what Christmas is really about, is making it special for others. And I do want to say that Christmas, I mean, even if you had, like me, struggled with holidays most of your life, it can turn around. Like now that I'm married and have a new family, I'm making new associations with the holidays, and it's really exciting. Like I love my in-laws, and I'm so lucky to have them.
That's the thing about nostalgia too, is you forget that you're making it. Like right now could be days that you look back at with nostalgia and you don't realize it in the moment. I was thinking about that this morning actually. Because you're never too late to do that.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
We bring up nostalgia a lot because this goddamn
that's what the short's about.
It really feels like that's what it's about.
Yeah,
because it's also, we haven't talked about the art, which is it's drawn. I wouldn't say it's drawn like a children's book, even though it's based off. I assume the children's book is drawn that way.
It's pencil sketches, and that's exactly what the book looks like. Yeah. Yeah,
but that might just have been the children's book style, but the style is nostalgic in itself because it feels like it's someone drawing from memory. It feels, I don't know if it's just that the style is dated and therefore nostalgic in my mind, but it feels like old art. It feels like it feels
ethereal or ephemeral. It feels like it's not gonna. It feels like it's not gonna last. Like it feels like it's kind of like, well, like that. You know what I mean? Like it feels like you were saying, like a memory. It feels impermanent. It feels impermanent.
That's a good way of putting it. Is that it feels like it's done in this very like sketch style, where it's God. I just Googled like, oh, I want to look up the Snowman art, and it's a combination of this movie and then the Michael Fassbender.
Perfect.
It's like colored pencils. That's pretty much it on white paper. Like you always feel like you see the paper beneath it.
Yeah, it reminds me of some of the flip books that I used to make when I was a kid.
Yeah, and I think that's by design, right?
Yeah.
It's trying to look almost not like it's drawn by a kid, but it's drawn through the medium of what a kid would use. Like a lot of it reminds me of like drawings my dad would do, like casually. So it's this added level of nostalgia, and I don't know if that's personal or it sounds like you're talking about these flip books. It sounds like they really nailed that, where like everybody can get something out of that.
Yeah.
The visuals.
Yeah, and I never, like we said earlier, I've never seen this movie before, but I still did feel that element of nostalgia. It was really good at creating that.
The world itself that they draw is kind of utopian, which is a weird way of putting it, but like all like everything looks kind of like united with nature. Do they ever fly over a city?
They fly over some towns, but never a city.
Yeah. Everything looks like simpler times.
Yeah. They all look like postcards.
Postcards, that's a good way of putting it. Yeah. It's weird. There's no dialogue, by the way.
No.
There's only one damn song. We're talking about a 30-minute short here.
Yeah.
But it goes a long way for me personally, because I haven't seen this movie probably in 30 years, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And it all kind of rushed back to me, and it was really interesting to watch.
Yeah, I think I had seen it maybe in high school was the most recent time I'd seen it, but it had been a long time since the last time I watched this this tasty jam.
Did you get high? Did you watch it high?
In high school or now?
High school?
No.
Or now?
No, neither time.
Okay.
Nope.
I wouldn't want to get high and watch this.
Nah.
I feel like I would freak out if I did. This is one of those. This could easily become creepy, you know, if they just adjusted it a tiny, tiny bit.
I was having a conversation with my mom about this, like, before we even knew we were going to do this podcast, where I always, like I said at the top of this, I always remembered it as being scary. And my mom was like, it's not scary. And what's interesting about that, I have the same conversation with The Land Before Time, is I feel scarred by that movie.
Oh, yeah, me
and then
too.
But then I was talking to my sister, and I was like, I can't believe they showed us that movie. And she's like, what are you talking about? Every time we went to the library, you insisted on getting that movie.
Oh, yes.
And so what occurred to me is like, oh, I did it to myself. Because I think kids are more fascinated by things like death, right?
That's true. Oh, did you ever do this? When I would sit in front of the TV, watch Land Before Time, and eat salad so that I could pretend I was eating tree stars.
Yes. Okay, the tree stars. Yes, I know what you're talking about. I think I took a bite out of a real leaf because I was not the smartest kid. But yes. But yeah, I realized I did it to myself. And I had the same memory of this, where I was talking to my mom and being like, this movie's, it's creepy, right? It's a scary movie. And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. It's a delightful movie.
I think you're both wrong, but...
Yeah, I wouldn't go as far as to say that it's delightful.
I wouldn't call it delightful. I mean, I enjoy it. I think it's very good. I don't know that... Well, maybe you could call it delightful.
I find it delightful because I think the melancholy that we're talking about, I honestly, it's warm to me. I don't know how else to say it, where it's... that idea that life is fleeting and it ends isn't. I don't personally find that scary, I guess, because it just is.
Yeah,
like it's not like we can do anything about it.
Yeah,
we're clearly all been designed that way. It's not about religion or what you believe. It's just it is. It's what is being human. And so, like, I do think like it's just something you accept. Or have to accept. And I do think it ties really well to Christmas because of everything we're talking about. It's surviving the winter. It's a time that I think killed a lot of people, right? The winter, it's a morbid
Statistically,
time.
Yes.
Statistically speaking. And so therefore it's a time in which we gather, we huddle together. And so like it all goes hand in hand to me. I guess.
Yeah, the creepy part for me wasn't the snowman dying. It was actually all the times that the child almost died. Because it happened a lot.
No. The parts that's actually creepy to me is like when the other snowmen come alive.
One of them's wearing a birthday hat for some reason. I'm like, what fucking kid built that snowman?
It reminds me of like the scary toys in Toy Story or something, where they're all smiling and they're all staring.
Yeah.
And like, my fear in this is very much a survival instinct, which is that if you see a bunch of snowmen wearing outfits and they're all moving, you don't go towards them.
Yeah. One of those snowmen had guns.
Hell yeah. The cowboy
and they were
snowman?
real too. They weren't like child-sized toy guns. Somebody took like their father's guns and put it on the snowman, and the father was okay with it. Or he was just like an alcoholic or something.
And then the snowman came alive, and he's like, finally, my time has come. Someone gave me guns.
Yeah, we don't know where he was before he came to that gathering.
I don't know. I don't know where any of these were.
Yeah.
It's weird that no one noticed. Mm-hmm. It's a weird situation with these snowmen, okay? Because they clearly had... It was basically they all had a meetup with Santa.
Yeah. They had a meet cute with Santa.
It's weird because also
they got hammered. One of them dragged a piano out there.
Yeah. It feels like it's not a work thing. Like, Santa, he has his elves, but they work for him. Mm-hmm. So that's its own thing. This is these are the people Santa hangs out with.
Yeah.
Right? They're just having a party.
Yeah, they did have
one
beer.
of them brought a kid. Did they have beer?
Yeah, the ones you could see it when they were playing the piano. There were
That's
3
amazing.
steins of beer.
So, I'm probably thinking too much into this, but that is kind of what the snowman represents, which is family, right? And the snowman's just his weird uncle, drinking beer with other weird people, and the kid has this vague memory, and then the uncle died, because of all the booze.
Yeah, as uncles do.
Yeah, as uncles do. They're like cats, they don't last too long.
Yeah, don't get attached to your uncles.
Don't get attached. Yeah, when I became an uncle, I was like, shit, that's it for me.
Yeah, I'm finished.
But that is I'm sure they were just trying to make a fun story that kids liked.
Yeah.
But there is this feeling of being brought, as a kid, being brought around and flying, and it's magical. And it's the same feeling as being in the backseat of your car, going out, not having to worry about the snow or money, and just being along for the ride, and then almost witnessing an adult party of these people hanging out, and they're involving the kid, but it's not really, there's more of them, and then it's fleeting and it goes away and it's a memory. I can see that interpretation of it. I'm not sure that's what they mean by it. Feels more like they just wanted to make a bunch of bullshit with snowmen, but I don't know.
Yeah, what do you think snowmen would be into?
In general?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
Fridges. We've clearly seen they like fridges.
They're really
they like
into
anything cold.
fridges and freezes and freezers and frozen peas. They're into
And
those.
lights.
Yeah.
They're into terrifying wildlife on a motorcycle.
I get that because you know what a deer would do around a snowman? It would try to eat its nose.
That's true.
So I can see snowmen generally not liking wildlife.
Yeah.
They're like winter scarecrows,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not liking them and specifically wanting revenge.
Yes. Yeah, because they gnaw, like a squirrel's gnawing on his nose or something.
Yeah. It goes around the
they
neighborhood peeing on all the dogs.
Yeah. They like breaking into houses, drinking beer, wearing clothing. They like hats, right?
They're very fond of hats.
Yeah, they like smoking pipes.
Yes. And putting on makeup and perfume.
Yeah, I don't know how the makeup worked out. I think he ruined his mom's makeup.
Oh, God,
right?
yes.
He must
and
have,
that
yeah.
stuff is expensive. His mom is going to flip.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the parents are going to be like, what the hell happened? There's water and
Yeah, I was
snow
going to say, they're going to
everywhere."
have a mountain of water damage in their bedroom now.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. They're going to wake up and they're going to be wet because the snowman was, hovering over them.
Yeah. Just looming.
Just breaking into their house.
And there are snowman tracks in the yard, too. So I wonder what they're going to think of that.
I don't know, man. There's a lot. There's a whole mystery here. And then, of course, this kid's going to grow up, and he's I can't I guess we're seeing that he still has the memory, but
this kid's going to
how
grow up to be
often-
Boris Johnson or some shit.
right. I'm just wondering how often a snowman visited this kid. Was it a one-time thing that he just grew up with, and over the years maybe thought okay, maybe that's a false memory.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe he's telling
Maybe.
the story to his therapist.
Right. Maybe he's telling the story to his therapist. Absolutely.
Well, he had the scarf in his pocket, so clearly part of it was real.
When he woke up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. They love that. They do where there's this plausible deniability in kids' movies, right?
Yeah.
Where they always do that, where the kid always ends up back in bed, but then they have a piece of evidence.
Yeah.
And it's well, why does it have to be ambiguous? Why are we gaslighting kids to
Yeah.
be maybe it's real or maybe it's not? Just tell them it's real. I don't know.
Yeah, who
Poor
gives a shit?
guy. No one is going to believe him at all. And I feel like the snowman knew that.
He's going to show him the scarf, and there's see, I got this scarf. Like, sure, man.
I got it from Santa.
I can get it from Safeway.
Yeah. No, it really does feel like Santa's like, we grab a kid, we freak him out. Every year. No one's going to believe. It's like Bill Murray going to people's houses to like wash their dishes. It's like, let's just freak out one kid.
Yep.
If I was Santa, I'd do that all the damn time. All right. I guess, should we do final thoughts here?
Yeah, sure.
This is, it's hard for me, like, I feel like we've said all that needs to be said. I enjoy this cartoon.
Yeah.
It gives me warm feelings. I get why it's sad, especially if you've seen it for the first time. I think it's beautiful. I'm glad I got to see it again.
Yeah. I have the same feelings toward it. I watched it as a kid. It wasn't one that I watched a lot, but I did see it as a kid, and I saw it as an adult, and then this is probably the first time I've seen it in several years. But yeah, I think it's bittersweet, but it's very beautiful, and it goes right along with, I don't know, some of my other favorite things to watch at Christmas.
Yeah.
Aw.
Yeah, I could put this on for Christmas. Marina, what are your thoughts?
I was just thinking about when we have kids, and are showing this to them. It's going to be hard not to laugh and then think about all the crazy stuff that we've talked about today. And
oh yeah,
but I am interested to see what the kids think about it.
I would be very clear with them of like, okay, so here it is. Just to be clear, Mommy and Daddy don't want you to bring people in the house.
Yes, please don't do this.
Bring strangers.
Even if you think they're a snowman, just don't. And then turn this one off and put on the Michael Fassbender one and teach them an entirely different lesson. I don't know what that lesson would be.
I don't know. I haven't seen that one.
Oh, you guys got to watch that one, right?
Does he play the snowman?
No. I mean,
No.
we saw it, Dave. We saw it in the theater together.
I'm saying that we should watch it around the holidays more.
That's true.
As a holiday
Yeah, we
film.
should make it a holiday film.
Yeah, it's Norwegian.
Yeah.
No.
It's live action. His name is Detective Harry Hole, and he is hunting a snowman themed serial killer. Very different than this movie. Same title, very different.
That
Yeah.
actually sounds really familiar, Detective Harry Hole, but also that sounds very Norwegian. Norwegian, oh my God, if you've never seen a Norwegian cartoon, holy crap.
Well, it's based off novels, and the name was different in the novels, and they thought it was too foreign sounding, so they changed it to Harry Hole. That's what they changed it to.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's
Is that accurate?
yes. That's not the name in the book.
Huh.
That's one of many choices they made making that movie. Just one of many.
Do you think they realized and were just being cheeky, or was this just a huge oversight?
The behind the scenes of that movie is that apparently in post-production they realized they forgot to shoot something like 10 pages of the script.
Oh no.
So there was a lot of issues.
It ran out of money. There's a whole
They
thing.
ran out of money, yeah.
I mean,
It's a whole thing.
That's Harry Hole is his name in the novels.
It's pronounced differently, apparently.
It's pronounced differently, but yeah, that's
Yeah.
his name.
Oh, it's probably Harry Hole.
Yeah, it's something that sounds less like Harry Hole.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have to talk about this movie. We'll cover that another day.
It basically means hill. I'm reading.
Oh.
Really?
Yeah, it says his surname translates to hill in English, and it's
So
the
they
name
just
of a
should've
historic
called him
Norwegian
Harry
town. Yeah, I don't know, man.
I don't know.
Anyway, that's a different thing.
That's a different thing. Listen, we're done with the snowman.
Yeah.
I want to thank you all for listening. Sarah, I hope this was a good gift. Whenever someone gets us as a gift, I'm like, but look at us.
yeah.
We're
Why
a
would you do
mess."
that? Don't do that.
Because you
But
guys are
I-
awesome.
Oh, thank you. Kyle, good gift for Sarah. I hope you guys have a fantastic Christmas. And everybody have a great holiday, right?
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
is where this is, yeah.
Watch
hope
the snowman.
Watch the snowman.
Both of them. This one and the Michael Fassbender film. Compare
yes.
and contrast.
Make sure your
Yes.
children are with you.
Yes. Teach the children. Keep the snowmen out. If people are interested, we have a Patreon. Patreon.com/gamefullyunemployed. Go on there. There's some exclusive podcasts for just $5 a month. You can listen to Tom and Jeff Watch Batman, Fox Mulder is a Maniac, Star Trek: The Next Futurama, and Spiel Boys. Those are all available. That's it.
Yeah.
Enjoy Christmas.
We also have a store. Head over to gamefullyunemployed.com where you can find a link to our Teespring store. We have all kinds of cool original artwork and designs you can get on t-shirts, mugs, stickers, posters, all kinds of things. So check that out.
Oh, hold on.
Yes,
Hold
what?
on. Jesus, Marina.
Oh,
Yeah.
hi.
For being on. Sorry, you're like a pal, so I almost plug some stuff. Tell us where we can find you.
Thank you very
please
much. You can find me at patreon.com/heartfistbrain and also twitch.tv /heartfistbrain. You're noticing a pattern here, hopefully. But I do cosplay. I'm currently playing the Mass Effect Legendary Edition and cosplaying FemShep in casual wear. And you can get that cosplay's picture set and more at the Patreon, as well as joining my Discord, which is a wonderful, positive, inclusive community. And we have a lot of fun together. So please join us. Everybody's very happy to meet new people. And thank you, Kyle and Sarah. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. Thank you.
Holidays.
And thank you,
Yeah.
Tom and Dave, for having me.
Of course, they asked.
They
Kyle
insisted,
asked for you today. Yeah. And I mean, it's always lovely having you on, and it's lovely watching you stream. And everybody, have a great holiday.
Yeah.
Yay.
Have an okay New Year, just an okay one.
Try to cram in and try to terrify as many animals as you can on a motorcycle before you melt.
Yes, that is that we found the meaning of Christmas, which is that it is our war on animals.
Yes.